It's never too late to do something. If you really want to achieve something, it's never really too late. And this woman proves that. Hello, everyone. It's Friday. It's Infinite Hope Day. Welcome to my channel for this amazing segment I'd like to call Infinite Hope, where we cover good news. And I'm so excited to see so many familiar faces in the chat already. So thank you guys all for joining me. Please be sure to smash the like, hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and share the stream so we can get more people involved. So I think I covered a little bit of this last week because they had a big news thing going on about this find, but more details have been coming out. So, astounding fossils discovered in California after a man looks closely at petrified tree and finds bones of greater beasts. So there he is. One of the biggest California fossil discoveries ever made has been found to include the remains of ancient mastodon fish and other mammals. So, Dad hilariously struggles to keep triplets from climbing furniture, and I cracked up at this. It's just in case, but this is the dad, like this poor guy, man. This was really interesting to me because something really similar happened to me a long time ago, and I wanted to share this story. Man grows 18-foot tall plant, the biggest in Britain, after saving it from a dumpster. So here's the plant. Wow. I thought this story was next level. I liked it a lot. Says Siberian bodybuilder pulls 40-ton Boeing in 737-500 plane, 15 meters, smashes record set by Russia's multiple-time strongest man. So there he is, pulling the plane. Look at that. He's pulling it. He's pulling the plane, you guys. Look how strong this dude is. That's next level. There he is. He's doing it. My goodness. Talk about this awesome story, which I really appreciate. Here we go. So a cop's most disarming weapon is compassion.
Some stories just don't get the attention they deserve.
They really don't.
Which is where our Steve Hartman comes in.
As we've seen this morning, police lines make headlines. The actions of some officers, front page fodder.
But there are other back page stories. Stories I have personally told over the years about officers who go above and beyond. And although these stories are far less touted, they are equally reflective of the men and women who serve.
These are the officers who take time to play basketball with the neighborhood kids, mow grass for senior citizens, and give rides to people in need.
These are like the real, just the real heroes in the streets, right? Just doing the little things that count.
They're home from work or much further. A couple years ago, Officer Jeff Turney responded to a call in Glendale, Arizona.
Your family's concerned about you.
This 94-year-old man was about to drive himself 2,000 miles to Florida.
Aw.
Turney shut that down.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Then took a week of vacation to see he got there safely.
You got her, buddy.
Wow.
Then there's Brian Grigsby and Troy Dillard of Little Rock, Arkansas, who found an Alzheimer's patient out wandering.
A white male by the name of Melvin Amrine.
I mean, he was pretty adamant. He wasn't going home until he got those flowers. Flowers? That's what he wanted. He wanted flowers for his wife because tomorrow was Mother's Day.
So instead of driving the man right home, they took him to a shop and even helped pay.
We had to get those flowers. We had to get them.
Oh,
I
my
didn't have
goodness.
a choice.
I also met Pittsburgh detective Jack Mook, who came across these two brothers at a boxing gym. Mook says they were being abused and neglected by their foster parents.
They have had it as worse as any other kid that's ever lived in the city of Pittsburgh, living conditions-wise.
Really?
And that just, I had enough of it.
So this bachelor cop adopted them.
Wow.
You're Mook, right? You happy? Good. Now you're gonna go home and cut my grass.
Just good human beings, right?
Denver police officers Monique Sedbury and Alicia Martinez, who were called to a school one day.
This was one of the tougher calls for us. His teacher had called 911 saying that he was being bullied and he wanted to end his life.
That's so sad.
Not only did they help Victor Haran in that moment, they formed an everlasting bond.
So how often do you guys see each other?
Often. Yeah.
He's like our family. He's like our little brother.
Aw,
Is it
you
helpful
guys.
to you that they've stayed in
Not
your
gonna
life?
cry.
Yeah. Every time I wanted to talk to them, they would answer.
They'd be there.
Yeah.
This is what's possible when a police badge is worn over a loving heart. These are the results when officers choose to draw their most disarming weapon: compassion.
100%. Compassion and empathy is our greatest strength as human beings. That's what kind of sets us apart, right? Like having empathy and love and connection to each other. These are the things that give us our strength as human beings, and police officers are human beings. So, there's good people and there's bad people. And just like that, there's good cops and there's bad cops. You hear about a lot of the bad stories, but of course you don't hear about stuff like this. Oh, here we go. Here it is. So North Carolina police officers hailed as heroes after rescuing woman from overturned submerged vehicle. So here is the vehicle, and they saved someone from it. The two police officers in North Carolina were in the right place at the right time last week when they spotted a woman trapped inside an overturned vehicle that had crashed into a ditch and was submerged in water. This was cool. This was a cool story. I found this to be fascinating. So long-lost sisters reunited and discovered their tattoos, jobs, and hobbies matched exactly. So that was a cool story. Here's another story that was awesome and also brought tears to my eyes. I was like, I'm not crying. Yeah, it was a rough week for me. I was like having a rough time picking out these stories. I was like crying on like every single episode.
What would you do? How far would you go to save your dog?
Yeah, well, this young boy from Lebanon has set the bar pretty high. News 5 Justin Lundy has his story.
Doggy.
Boom, boom.
8-year-old Bryson Kleeman is a diehard Pokemon fanatic.
Charmeleon, Magikarp.
He was organizing his playing cards and noticed his dog Bruce had fallen sick.
He wasn't coming out of his cage and being the normal puppy that he usually is.
Oh.
He was very lethargic, just not doing good.
Bruce was rushed to the Southwest Virginia Veterinary Services and diagnosed with parvo. It's a highly contagious dog virus. The treatment cost is nearly $700, a price the family could not afford to pay, and a puppy Bryson says he couldn't afford to lose.
Made me kind of sad because usually my brother and my sister play together, and usually I don't have nobody to play with, so I usually get one play with him.
Aware of his parents' financial situation, Bryson used his love for Bruce and his passion for Pokemon to take matters into his own hands.
I get a text message with a picture of him and a sign.
It says Pokemon
beside the
for
road
sale.
from his dad selling his Pokemon cards.
I know everybody likes Pokemon cards, so I just decided to sell them.
So how much money did you make from selling all these Pokemon cards?
I made $65 the first night before anybody knew.
The goal was $800, but the GoFundMe donations exceeded $1,900.
I was so happy because I wanted to get him back.
After overwhelming community support and a week of treatment, Bryson did just that. proving nothing can beat the love between a young man and his furry best friend.
It feels good to have my best friend home.
In Lebanon, Virginia, Justin Lundy, News
How
5 WQIB.
sweet is that? So like Virginia Boy sells Pokemon cards to fund treatment. This one was really interesting as well. She lost her wallet in 1975 at the movies. More than 4 decades later, it was finally returned thanks to good people. You guys know how I feel about good people. So next story. This is a very sweet story as well. It's never too late to do something. If you really want to achieve something, it's never really too late. And this woman proves that. 94-year-old woman receives high school diploma at Hazel Green High School. Let's have a watch.
Well, the graduation ceremony here at Hazel Green High School was unlike any I've seen before. The room was full of great-grandchildren, siblings, and other family members who all came together to celebrate the accomplishment of Grace Lee McClure-Smith.
I am so grateful. Thank you so much. It's better late than never, isn't it?
For Grace Lee, her high school graduation has been a long time coming. 79 years to be exact. She dropped out of school in 1942 when she was only 16, so her husband could fight in World War II.
She never ever mentioned regretting anything in life. You know, she would never take it back because she absolutely loved my grandfather, and that was just what she wanted to do. But I think this was very important to her.
Grace went on to work as a bus driver for the Madison County school system for 30 years. That's a lot of faces to remember.
This is really cool.
But she still recognizes most of the people she drove if they just tell her their address.
She'll say, I can't remember exactly who you are. Go ahead and tell me where you live. And so they'll give an address and she'll say, oh yeah, I remember you. And then she'll start with stories.
Although she never had the chance to complete her education, she always emphasized the importance of learning to her family.
She drove me actually on the school bus. So I rode with her to and from school. And she always encouraged me to go to school, make sure I finished school. And now she encourages my girls.
With 26 great-grandchildren, she has a lot of knowledge to pass on. And you can tell her entire family appreciates her commitment to education.
It is a special day.
Love you.
Oh, that's so sweet, you guys. Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining me for this highlight video. Be sure to smash that like, hit the subscribe button, and share the video. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.